It's that time of the year again when holiday mood is in the air. It's a few days to Christmas, and we've prepared for you yet another informative and entertaining episode of Daring Abroad. This is what you are going to watch.
I am a servant of Kenya's foreign policy.
Ambassador Martin Kimani, Kenya's new permanent representative to the UN, his vision and his past life abroad. In Arusha, Australian chef cum musician George Stigwood's experience in 50 countries. On Kenya to the World, Kitengela Hot Glass. And on My Magical Kenya,
Shaba is Hollywood of Africa.
More thrills from northern Kenya. When I met Ambassador Martin Kimani in New York, he was just settling in to begin his new duties at a time when the world is still grappling with the COVID-19 crisis.
I've been here for the last 5 days, and from the day after, I had to self-isolate for a few days while I did a new COVID test. But even when I was in isolation, the work started, and so it's been a daily affair since then. The first thing I noticed is the amount of fear and suffering that has gone on here. Thousands of people died from COVID, and so when you're in New York, you really get the feeling of what it means to be in a deep crisis because of this pandemic. There's a feeling of fear in the air, and so I hope that COVID does not get to that extent in Kenya.
This is one of Kenya's busiest missions in the world. Dr. Ambassador Kimani joins other envoys at the UN to ensure there is peace and security in the world and develop friendly relations among nations.
My vision is to really reflect our national vision for this position, because that is a vision that has been articulated by His Excellency the President on down to our Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I am a servant of Kenya's foreign policy. If you ask me personally as head of mission, what is my vision? Well, my vision is to make this the most impactful tenure of a permanent rep here in New York, to advance and utilize our position on the Security Council to make a tangible and practical impact on global peace and security matters. We are a pragmatic country, and we are a country that has great reach. And now we're going to have to deliver that pragmatism and that reach to actually delivering solutions for the whole world. And along the way, we want Kenyans to benefit from that.
A huge responsibility indeed for Ambassador Kimani. But why should the common Kenyan care about the UN?
One of the questions I have come and I'm asking our staff every day when we're preparing our position papers and our strategies is, how are we impacting Mama Mboga? How are we impacting the ordinary Kenyan when we are working here? And that is why it's such a huge priority for us to be leaders in the financing for development agenda, to ensure that Kenyan business, Kenyan small businesses have sufficient resources to actually be able to finance their entrepreneurial dreams. We're here driving how to deal with climate change and have the resources to reverse its negative effects. We're here fighting for fairer trade. We're here fighting for a range of issues, all the time thinking of how can we get more resources and more opportunities to Mama Mboga and our youth, because I think that is what they expect. And this mission, as all other missions, should always be guided by the interests of Kenyans to have a better life.
Ambassador Kimani's new posting coincides with Kenya becoming a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council yet again. The UN Security Council, one of the organs of the UN, is responsible for the maintenance of international peace and security. It has 15 members, 5 of them permanent and 10 are non-permanent members. The 5 permanent members are China, France, Russian Federation, the United Kingdom, and the United States. The non-permanent members are elected by the General Assembly for 2-year terms. In June this year, Kenya beat Djibouti in a hotly contested election for that crucial seat. It will replace South Africa in 2021.
We're bringing a long history of building peace and security in our region and delivering those lessons to the global community. And along the way, we hope that we use these 2 years to advance a safer, more secure Africa and a safer and more secure Horn of Africa and East Africa.
Ambassador Kimani replaced Ambassador Lazarus Amayo, who was moved to Kenya's embassy in Washington, D.C.
Our embassy in Washington is focused on the bilateral relationship between Kenya and the United States. Here in New York, the United States is an important member state. One is a member of the UN Security Council and is a major funder of the United Nations. So we constantly work with our embassy to ensure that our relationship with the United States, both in Washington and in New York, is productive. And so the relationship between me and Ambassador Amayo is an important one in my daily work.
This is not Ambassador Kimani's first time to head a UN mission. He has in the past been head of mission to the UN office in Nairobi. He holds an MA and PhD in War Studies from King's College of the University of London. He is a former director of Kenya's National Counterterrorism Center. He will also be remembered for his recent role as Joint Secretary to the Building Bridges Initiative, an initiative of the handshake between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his 2017 main presidential election rival, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga.
The Building Bridges process is one of my most important life assignments. I always want to remind Kenyans about the handshake, because by the time the handshake was happening, the divisions that have roiled our country, not just recently, but for a very long time, were again rearing their head. There were many Kenyans who felt not included in our national project, who felt that despite elections and despite the democratic dispensation we had, they were not embraced and included. And that led to such dangerous politics. So even as we argue today about what is the content of the constitutional bill, or what isn't there, what is there, what isn't there, how should it be done, how should it not be done, I think the main thing to remember is where we were just before the handshake, the courage it took for these two leaders to get together and to look forward instead of back, and the window of opportunity that bought us. I will tell you, Alex, in the Security Council, every single day we're going to be dealing with countries that are either being challenged or being broken by negative politics. And the genius and opportunity of building bridges in Kenya is to anticipate that we need to fundamentally address this particular question. I think we've done that. I think that is reflected in the bill. What we've done is to add to the constitutional momentum that we got in 2010. And I'm very proud to have had a role to play and to be able to have sat and observed history from up close.
Very well articulated there, and congratulations are in order for Ambassador Martin Kimani. Join me in wishing him a fruitful tour of duty in New York. Time now for Kenya to the World, and today Michael Simanji is featuring Kitengela Hot Glass.
Beauty, elegance, and artistry. This is what Kitengela Hot Glass represents. With over 25 years in the game, the guys are clearly masters of their craft.
I am feeling the heat.
You're feeling the heat? Our furnace is ever on. So if you light it in January, then it stays on until sometime on 20th of December. Because if we put it off, then it will take us another 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks, to get the temperature back.
Thomas Kapere is the gallery manager. His job is to ensure that operations are flowing smoothly.
We are a recycling company, so we receive the scrap glass like window glass, then we feed it into the kiln. About the capacity of the kiln is about 300 kg, 350 kgs, and feed it early in the evening and let it melt at night. And then the next day, the glass will have gained the right texture. And then from there, we then make the beautiful glassware that we have.
So, from drinking glasses to chandeliers, glass sculptures to murals, everything here is 100% handcrafted.
So there is a day that we make stock, there is a day that we make custom orders. The custom orders are the most complicated days because they are very specific.
Speaking of custom orders, the glass recycling company boasts of exporting their unique pieces all over the globe.
It's an order that comes in from UK, another order comes from US, another one just came from Pakistan, and this is amazing. So we sell to the whole world, and we had to partner with DHL, so all our shipments go through DHL. So this is our hot shop. This is the place where we blow glass. This is our lovely, the famous dome. It was built in 1990s, early 90s. Today, William is going to be our main guy. He's going to make for us a beautiful fruit bowl, something that will look like this.
Oh, wow.
This will be our end product.
This is what we're making today?
Correct, this is what we're making today. And everything is different here.
Ideally, what you're saying is, whatever it is you're making,
Yes,
as much as they may resemble,
yes.
no two pieces are alike.
No two pieces are alive, and that is the most unique thing about us. That is how hot it is. And here we have our, as I said, yes. Never same.
Quite a remarkable experience, and what makes it even more special is the fact that all this is happening on our own soil.
We have glass craft all over the world, actually. The amazing ones in the US, in Italy, or in Czech Republic. But then we are also selling this now to the world, that this can happen in Kenya. This craft is also possible, and we are doing it.
This is what drives the company, a passion to share Kenya's ingenuity and beauty. And with a dedicated workforce of over 40 men and women, it's only a matter of time until Kitengela Hot Glass takes its rightful place on the global stage. And that's Kenya to the world. My name is Michael Zimanji.
Let me now take a short break. When we return, some entertainment and light moment for you from Arusha.
Welcome to the Zarya Village, a gated community located in the heart of Kiambu County. The estate prides itself off round-the-clock security, a stone perimeter wall, Cabra roads, clubhouse, solar street lighting, among other features. The estate is near top-quality schools like Crawford International School and Nova Schools. Hospitals and sports facilities are easily accessible. To secure your plot, call us on 0700 700 700 or email us on sales@capitalreal.co.ke. The Zarya Village. Dream it, own it, live it.
Welcome back. Remember, we began this show in New York, where I met our top guest today, Ambassador Martin Kimani, Kenya's permanent representative to the UN. Let's now cross over to Arusha, where I met an Australian chef come musician who has lived and worked in over 50 countries, including Kenya. Take a look.
We have our fresh chicken breast here today, which we're going to make this, should be okay.
This minute in the kitchen.
Pass it over nicely.
The other minute in the band, entertaining guests. A double talent for Mark Stigwood, an Australian chef who has been living in Tanzania for over 30 years. His nickname is Stiggy, from the brand name of his restaurants.
Today is a very special day for me because I started my apprenticeship in 1969, the 15th of November, and this is my 50th year of actually cooking as a chef. And I spent 5 years in Kenya on the coast with reef hotels, Lagoon Reef, Kimani Reef, building hotels. And then I came here 32 years ago, and I've been building restaurants ever since, sausage factories, these restaurants here, fish restaurant, I've got a fish aquarium here, the only one in Tanzania. We have live fish. And I cook myself, and I have a very good team here. And my main passion is playing in my band.
Stiggy is not just any other chef. You will be surprised to learn that he has lived and worked in about 50 countries. Really daring.
Actually, I was a parachute chef, what they call, where I worked for Hilton Interconti, and they would drop you into a country for 3 or 4 months to set up hotels. So I worked 3 years in South Africa, Cape Town, Durban, Joburg, and then Gambia, Senegal and West Africa, Sierra Leone, and then Egypt, Djibouti, Dubai, and then Kenya, and then now here. So, and before that I was in Papua New Guinea and Australia and Asia and Europe. We'll put a little bit of white wine on this.
When Stiggy worked in Kenya, he did not leave empty-handed. Guess what?
My daughter is from Kenya, and her mother's from Kenya. So she lives in Australia. So I go every 4 or 5 years and see her there.
Unajua Kiswahili?
My Swahili is still pretty hopeless.
Unajua kidogo, naweza kuomba maji kwa Kiswahili?
Yes, Jambo Bwana, Missouri Sana, yeah.
Now, if your parents dissuaded you from pursuing your passion, you are not alone.
I always wanted to be a musician, but my father decided that when I was about 19, I was never going to be a musician, but I could be a great chef. So he said, son, you better stick to your passion, become a great chef, and then when you make some money, open your own music. So that's now.
Back to the kitchen, and you'll be amazed at how Stiggy does his stuff with ease.
Okay, we're going to cook our little bit of our fish in white sauce today. Toss it over nicely. We don't have any processed food or anything like that here, so the food is very, very healthy. So any of you Kenyans want to come down here and eat, the food's very, very fresh and very, very healthy. So Karabuni, come and spend your money at Christmas, no problem. This is the cheapest time you'll ever have to go to the national parks, and you also go in there as an East African citizen, which is very, very low. The art of being a great chef is not being able to go into a supermarket and taking something off the shelf. The art of being a great chef is seeing what a country has, taking the country and then creating something from that. That's the difference between a line cook and a chef. You hire a chef to create something special that no one else has.
And that's Mark Stigwood's story of daring abroad. An interesting story there from Arusha. Let's now move into our final segment, My Magical Kenya. And today I bring you more thrills from northern Kenya. Take a look. You may be familiar with the Big Five, but there is also the Special Five. And what is Special Five?
Red-breasted giraffe, Giraffe zebra, Gurunuk, Beza oryx, Somali ostrich.
Yes, these Special Five are native to arid and semi-arid areas. In Kenya, they are particularly found in northern Kenya. You'll find them in Shaba Game Reserve and the neighboring Buffalo Springs National Reserve in Isiolo County. They are also found in Samburu National Reserve in Samburu County.
Giraffe zebra is highly endangered and it is only found in northern Kenya and southern Ethiopia and nowhere else in the whole world. A Somali ostrich, that's different from the common ostrich, is also another special species to Samburu. And so is the gerenuk, which is an antelope with a very long neck, and in fact the term gerenuk comes from the Somali language and it means giraffe-necked gazelle.
You may still be wondering, so what is a Giraffe zebra, or how different is it from the zebra you know?
Giraffe actually has the thin stripes with the large mane, like the hair on top, and then their ears they're big, they're large or bulky, like they are compound. Yeah, they can turn. Yeah, both sides. The large ears means they can hear sound from all directions.
It is highly adapted to semi-arid and arid habitats, while the plains zebra is more suited to lusher habitat with abundant water. The Somali ostrich. It is unique because the skin of its neck and thighs is blue in color rather than pinkish. The male ostrich has black feathers.
The ostriches are purple in color from the other side, but in Samburu the ostriches are purple and black and pink.
The reticulated giraffe, on the other hand, has dark brown spots with tiny lines in between and narrower lines than other subspecies. Still in the group of the Special 5 is the Generuk antelope, also known as the Giraffe Gazelle. It is an exceptionally long-necked antelope. And finally, the Beza oryx, another species of the antelope with long, straight horns and stunning face markings. It has black lines streak across its nose, forehead, and down its cheeks, creating a mask-like appearance over its otherwise white head. The Beza oryx is simply unmistakable. The unique 5 continue to attract filmmakers to this region.
Shaba is Hollywood of Africa because many international films were shooting here. To mention few, like Walk with the Lion, Survival the series, Queen of Shaba, so many others.
And despite COVID-19, tourists are coming, both local and international, with Sarova Shaba Lodge that is located in Isiolo Game Reserve being one of the beneficiaries of the tourists who want to explore northern Kenya.
Now with the COVID-19, of course, now the Rocoma domestic market is what is happening. We have mix of all caliber of sectors, but right now domestic market is reading. Progressively, we are not doing very bad. We tend to gap up by the festive season as we start off.
Indeed, the Special 5 will continue to make northern Kenya special. With those thrills from northern Kenya, we come to the end of this pre-Christmas episode of Daring Abroad. We hope you enjoyed the program. Let's do it again next time. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy your holiday.